Hey everyone, we're back here in the Cutting Edge Garage, and today's a really exciting day for me at least, because we finally got us a 2-post lift in the shop. This is going to let us do a lot bigger jobs like engine swaps, transmission swaps. So be sure to like and subscribe. You'll see a lot more of that bigger content coming at you. But today we're just going to go over some basic lift operations, how to use them safely so you don't hurt yourself or the vehicle. So don't go anywhere. Should I say don't go anywhere, or is that stupid? So first step in getting this vehicle lifted up off the ground, we want to make sure to position it properly. You got to get it in the right spot. You want to get it as close to the center line of the lift as you possibly can. When you first start doing this, you may need somebody to guide you on, but as you do more and more of these, you won't need somebody to guide you in to help you get it centered. All right, so we already got our vehicle centered up. So our next step is we've got to position these arms correctly and on the correct lifting points to pick up this vehicle without damaging anything, and to make sure our weight's centered so we don't have any weeble wobbling or have any vehicles come off the lift. That's something we really don't want. Your lifting points are going to be different for every vehicle that you work on. At first, just take your time, use a reference book if you have to find the correct points to lift a vehicle. It is critical to get those right, y'all, for your safety and to not damage anything on the vehicle. All right, so first I'm just going to kick my arms out under the vehicle. Fortunately, the arms on this lift are low enough that they slide right under, and they got some really nice 2-stage screw adapters, so we won't have any trouble finding that lift point. This one's right here. Swing around to the front. That one's good. Now I'm going to head on over to the other side. All right, so it's going to be the same story on this side. I'm going to kick my arms out. You guys, really take the time to actually get down here and look that you're making contact at the correct point, or you got them positioned correctly. Don't just kick them under there and hope for the best. This one should be good about there. And a little bit there. All right, pretty confident we got all our arms positioned correctly. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hold the lift button until those pads make contact with the bottom of the vehicle, and I just start to see it move up. All right, so that wasn't very far at all. Now I just want to double check again. Now that we're actually making contact with those lift points, just do your due diligence. Go around and check all 4 points. Make sure you're hitting out all the correct positions. Good. A little bit more of a pain on a Corvette because they're so low. Big trucks, you can just kind of lean down and look, but this one you got to get all the way on the floor. That one's good. And one more. All right. We should be good. So now I'm going to pick it up until all 4 wheels are just an inch or 2 off the ground. All right. So what I think is one of the more critical steps. You don't have to open the hood to do this. I just don't want to push on these fenders on this nice Corvette. I'm going to put my hand on something really solid and shake it just about as hard as I can. And don't be shy. If you're doing more serious work under the car and you're romping on it with a 1/2-inch breaker bar with a cheater bar on it, you don't want to have this thing come off. So really just shake it about as hard as you can. Now that we know we're stable, we can go ahead and take it all the way up. All right, so we got the vehicle all the way up. Now it's real important when you take it all the way up, you got to hold your release lever and let it down onto the safety locks. And that way it's not sitting, it's not supported on the hydraulic rams. It's actually making there's a physical lock in there that'll keep you safe. So if something in the hydraulics goes awry, that vehicle doesn't come crashing down on you and hurt you or damage the vehicle. All right guys, I just want to pause here for a second and tell you why we chose the lift we did. We get all of our lifts from Total Automotive Lifting Solutions, and these guys are out of Toronto, Canada. And I guess I'll start with the arms. All of the arms are all 3-stage front and rear, and all of them come standard with 2-stage screw-up adapters. And these guys actually include 3 and 6-inch stack adapters and the truck frame adapters as well, all as standard. That's not an optional add-on. And these guys, they didn't skimp on their power unit as well. All of their lifts come with North American made Bucher power units, and all their two posts, they actually put them on anti-vibration mounts, so none of the vibration from the motor is transferred into the tower. It actually makes it a lot quieter. It's really nice. And that's just one of those little things that they don't have to do that costs them a couple extra dollars just to make it a little bit nicer for you. And I also really like that they gave you a translucent reservoir so you can see your fluid level. A lot of the other lifts I've seen, they have just a solid black one. You have no idea what your fluid level is in there. So that was a nice touch as well. Moving on to the structure of the lift, these come with a single point lock release, so you don't have to pull a lock on each side. And they actually went to the trouble of making metal covers instead of plastic. Most of the other lifts we were looking at, they all had just like snap-on plastic covers. These are actually bent out of sheet metal, so they look nicer and they're going to hold up a little better. On the inside of the carriages, they have these nice rubber door stops. They're nice soft rubber. Some of the other guys, they have a door stop, but it's actually a really hard rubber, and you'll end up scuffing the door anyway. And that's what these things are meant to do, is protect the door if you open up too far. And on the inside of the towers, they actually welded in an extra tubular reinforcement all the way up and down where the carriage runs, and that prevents any tweaking or twisting of the tower. Even however minute it is, that's going to keep those plastic sliders on the inside of the tower in better shape over time, and it's just going to provide an overall better structural integrity for the lift. Other than that, all these lifts are ALI certified, so I always feel better about that. And especially if you're a shop owner, you really shouldn't be buying any lifts that aren't ALI certified. And all that means it's been independently tested from everything from the hydraulics to the electronics. And all these lifts had to be tested 50% beyond their capacity. So that means this 10,000 pound two-post lift was independently tested up to 15,000 pounds. So when you're working with stuff like this and your life literally depends on it, having that ALI certification really means a lot, especially if you're a shop owner and you're trusting your guys' lives to this equipment. These are also available in Flexmetric and Symmetric. Generally, you want a symmetric lift if you work on a lot of larger pickup trucks, like 2500s, 3500s, stuff like that. It just centers the vehicle further forward, so you don't have the huge long truck bed hanging way off the back and throwing everything off balance. But if you work on more small passenger vehicles, Flexmetric is probably the way to go. So it's all of these little details and the overall build quality of the lift that made Cutting Edge decide to go with TLS for all of our lifts. We're a proud authorized dealer of TLS here in the Southeast US. These guys really know how to make a great lift that's focused on not only ease of use but safety as well. So now we got to let the vehicle down, and the way we do that, we have to remember we're sitting on those safety locks, right? So first we got to pick the vehicle up off the safety locks, and then we got to hold our safety lock release lever. And it's worth noting that before you do any of this, try to let the vehicle down, make sure your work area is clear. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a tech forget a screw jack or a transmission jack, and it catches the edge of the vehicle, and and you could potentially tump the vehicle off the lift. So first, let's pick it up off the safety locks. Should be good. Now hold our safety lock release lever all the way down. Now watch it as it comes down. I've seen some lifts, they'll catch a safety lock on one side, and then this whole thing will start canting over one way, and you could potentially tump the vehicle off the lift. So it's always important. It's just kind of common sense. Watch it as it comes down. Make sure it's nice and level. All right, guys, that's really all there is to it. Lifting a vehicle, it ain't a super complicated thing, but just remember, don't get complacent with all your safety procedures and your checks. I've seen all kinds of silly stuff walking into different shops and looking. I've seen some guys, they'll take a bungee cord and wrap it around the lift button so they can use the bungee cord to hold it, and they'll walk off and try to work on something else while the vehicle's coming up. And at the end of the day, that saves you maybe 20 or 30 seconds, and it's just really not worth it for your safety and potentially damaging the vehicle as well. But thank you guys for watching. This has been Cutting Edge Garage, and stay safe out there.